When riding northeast on the Gold Road at night, skirting Lake Rumère, we see peeking through the trees the Imperial City silhouette and bump into a patrolling Imperial guard who seems to be making haste out of the brushes. Curious, we follow his path, seeing a set of two pale figures peering out over the hills in the distance. As we near the statue, we see a duo of Daedra and the all-too-familiar trio of acolytes worshipping the deity. The Daedra in question is a small, horned, impish figure, garbed in trousers and a vest. Next to said imp is a stern-looking hound with pointed ears, appearing to stand firm watch over its master. Approaching a nearby wood elf witch, Annadel, to learn more, she surprisingly shares.
I played Lord Vile's game and lost my soul. Small loss, I think.
The seated orc savant, Gulgro Burbog, cryptically imparts.
He's a hard master, but he delivers. I gave my word, and an orc honors his word.
Curious, we see the Khajiit priest, Maraska, who informs.
You approach the shrine of Clavicus Vile. You should not be here unless you have business with Lord Clavicus.
This is Clavicus Vile, the prince of trickery and bargains?
Here we worship Lord Clavicus. Do you have business with the Daedra?
Well, I have no formal business with him.
Then leave this place until you have better reason to be here.
Now, before I go, what kind of business?
There are many deals to be made, even with a god. You could find great wealth, or painful death. If you wish to bargain with Clavicus Vile, approach with an offering of 500 gold, and hope the Lord smiles on your offering.
Wait, did you say painful death?
Make a bargain or do not. You must choose. Go then.
Looking for more information, the soulless Annadel reiterates.
You have been told the proposition. Your donation for a possible audience with Clavicus Vile. The choice is yours.
But does it have to be 500 gold? Can't I just sacrifice someone?
You better have the right offering or you're wasting your time here. Great fortunes to you.
We then note in our journal. One of Clavicus Vile's worshippers has told me that in order to summon the Daedra, an offering of 500 gold must be given to the statue. You must be level 20 to begin this quest. Nearing the altar with the sizable sum in hand, the greedy statue springs to life, saying,
A mortal! Wonderful. Always a pleasure. Perhaps you'll do service for me, mortal, and I'll reward you. A fair bargain, don't you think? You will retrieve for me a sword, a very special sword. It contains the soul of Umbra, a hero I have had dealings with in the past. Bring the sword to me, and I'll reward you with my mask. You'll not find a better bargain, mortal. Begin your search in Hell's Gate.
We then note, when I gave my offering at the shrine of Clavicus Vile, the Daedra Lord told me about Umbra, and how he wishes me to return to him Umbra's sword. I should start my search in Hell's Gate. We then see that Clavicus's hound has disappeared entirely from its perch. Why, we can only guess. But as we move to depart on our quest, we then rummage in our pocket to find a statuette of a dog resembling Clavicus's hound now on our person. Doubly perplexed, as we mount our horse to leave, we hear an otherworldly voice from nearby.
Hello? Hey, pay attention! In your pack, the dog. I swear, you heroes aren't particularly quick on the uptake. Good. Got your attention. I'm Barbas, the Hound of Clavicus Vile. Not that I've always been a hound, or always been called Barbas. I've also been a Red Guard. For a while I was a scamp, making deals with orcs, but for now, I am his hound, and I serve the Lord Clavicus. A word of advice here. You've made a bad deal. This Umbra, bad business. Things always end badly where that one's concerned. Clavicus has always been a little blind to that, and it'll end badly this time too. So just leave things be. Walk away. It's your best bet, really.
With this conflicting information, our journal updates once more. Barbas, the Hound of Clavicus Vile, has spoken to me through the figurine that appeared in my pack. He tells me that returning the Umbra Sword to Clavicus Vile is a mistake, likely to cause great ruin to Vile's domain. And as we ride past a nearby alien ruin, Vindicel,
Die, cur! Die!
a couple of conjurers crop up to confirm that dealing with Clavicus may be more danger than it's worth. However, ignoring the incensed enemies, we continue to ride over a small bridge heading east, seeing the remains of our old paint horse in the gloom and the corpse of the bandit that felled it, an ill omen if we'd ever seen one. As we see the settlement of Pell's Gate just to our right, a bandit bowman in glass armour rushes us from the ruins of Fort Homestead. With little recourse, we begin to defend ourselves and our fresh paint horse from the onslaught of arrows.
Day you die!
With the elf archer laid out by the edge of town, we collect off her person her formidable bow of harm and assorted glass armour. Looking around, we then see a collection of 3 shacks that presumably makes up the community of Pell's Gate. Being in the early hours of morning, we ignore the resident shacks and make a beeline for the nearby inn named the Sleeping Mare. Alone behind the bar in the warm glow of a roaring fire, the Breton publican Candace Corgan greets.
Hi there. Welcome to Pell's Gate. What brings you around here?
I was actually looking for a unique sword named Umbra or Umbra.
Umbra? You need to speak with Iroki the Wide. I've got nothing to say about Umbra. I have a room if you're interested. It's 10 gold for a night. Be seeing you.
Waiting till morning, we oblige the disturbed Breton and follow our only lead, spying a large Nord barbarian wandering outside and greet. Hello there. Are you Iroki the Wide?
How are you? Welcome to Pell's Gate. What brings you around here?
I'm actually searching the town for something. Well, if you can call 3 houses a town.
We're a small community, mostly keep to ourselves. Can't say it isn't nice to see a new face around, though.
Likewise. So, as I was saying, I'm looking for a sword. Umbra. Know of it?
Aye, I know of Umbra. But you're a stranger to me, and I'm not talking.
Yep, understandable. Say, do you have any drinking money for the week?
Yes? See, was that hard?
Now, you were saying about this Umbra.
Umbra? That's a name I haven't heard in a while. And it's not one you should be using around Pell's Gate either. Before I go on, let's clear something up. Are you here asking about the sword or the person? Which is it?
Person? No, there's a person. I was talking about a sword.
It's a powerful sword, no doubt about that. Jet black. Got a wicked edge on it, and they say it can steal a man's soul. I know of at least one soul it stole. Lenwyn. She's the one who found the blasted thing. I suppose you want to hear about the person now.
Right, so this Lenwyn has Umbra. Tell me about the person behind the sword.
Who is Umbra? I can tell you who Umbra used to be. Lenwyn. She's my apprentice, or at least she was, until she found that sword. Never did say where it came from. She just showed up with it one day, said it was called Umbra. But she was different. She'd always been fair with a sword, but she began looking for fights, became bloodthirsty, and then started calling herself Umbra after the sword. Finally signed on with some mercenaries, but I hear that ended too. We haven't seen her in years.
Where is she now?
Can't say for sure. Some say they've seen her nearby, near the Vindasal ruins. Might just be wishful thinking, though. If she's around, she hasn't come into Pel's Gate. Nor should she. I fear that girl is long gone. If you seek her out, take care. She's a powerful one, or at least that sword is. I'd steer clear if I was you.
Thanks for the help. Anything else you can share?
I can't tell you any more than I already have. I'm sorry. I wish you luck. I fear you'll need it.
Departing Pel's Gate, recalling the strange story of a black sword and this Lenwyn calling herself Umbra after the sword, we note. I've been told that Umbra was once a resident of Pel's Gate but has now left. Some claim to have seen her recently near the Vindasal ruins. Those ruins were the ones with the conjurers loitering about. Perhaps they were in league with this Umbra. Or perhaps they were hunting her. Or maybe the sword calls to worthy adversaries. Whatever the case, we ride west along the Gold Road to find said conjurers have laid a trap. After the first fiend is felled, we cautiously make our way back to the entrance of Vindasal's ruins to contend with their mouthy friend.
Well, well, look who we've got here. I fought... Die!
With both mages made redundant, we warily enter the stone double door to Vindasal, preparing to see more pushback, preparing for more violence as we seek out this Umbra. Inside the musty ruins, we descend into the chamber below. Our only foes seem to be the stench of decay and a few errant vermin as we nearly step into a gaping hole, spelling our demise. Dispatching the creatures, we realise the traps of the aliens are still fully functional, or somebody recently has put them back in use. In the second room to the southwest, we find a dead rat, and hear a hiss. Confused, we inhale noxious gases and realise the rats had succumbed to the poisons that had been activated again, no doubt to catch trespassers unaware. It's in the final room to the northeast. We see a great fire pit alight. Snuffing our torch, we spy in the distance a lone figure dressed in black. Approaching via a break in the southeastern wall, the figure seems to all but ignore our intrusion, though we're sure they can hear us. As we look around their makeshift camp, we see a hard-locked chest and help ourselves to a few thousand gold worth of goodies, and the being seems to not care about us rifling through their goods. Approaching the shadowy figure, they turn their back once more and casually warn over their shoulder.
Get out of here while you can.
Stepping closer, we see a wicked black blade at the hip of an elf, replete with ebony armor, who could only be the enigmatic and dangerous Umbra.
You risk much by speaking to me. You should leave this place. Now.
Hello there. Umbra, is it? Umbra? Or am I addressing your sword?
Umbra is my blade. It is who I am. Who I was meant to be. For years I have fed my blade the souls of man and myrrh. Warriors and priests, kings and paupers, men, women, and children, all have bled for me. I have seen them all fall, and still Umbra hungers for more.
Look, Lenwyn, you say this is my last chance to leave, How about take your own advice? Forsake that blade and return to Pell's Gate.
Do not speak to me of that place. It was another lifetime. It was before I became what I am now. Perhaps they sent you to kill me. Are they worried I might come in the night and burn their village down around them? No matter. I am what I've become, and I know my fate. But what of you? What is it you seek? My death? My blade? I offer you a choice, more than I have offered most. Stay here and die, or leave now and live your life. Speak to me again when your mind is set.
This is your out, friend. Leave it alone. How about we just march on back to the shrine and tell Clavicus the deal is off? Sure, he'll be a bit put off, but you won't be dead. At least, you probably won't. That's better odds than you're getting here.
As Umbra continues to skulk around the ruin, waiting on our decision, we note in our journal, I have met the one called Umbra and have been offered a choice. Stay and fight, or leave in peace. Now, before we make our choice, it should be noted we do have two distinct paths to take in this quest and many different ways to execute them, being to fail the quest for Clavicus, as Barbas had suggested, or succeed for Vile's favour and his Daedric artifact. Both have their pitfalls and merits, as well as some special paths to even better rewards. But first, let's see what failing the quest looks like, and tempting the wrath of a Daedric prince. And so we approach Umbra again, saying, I'll live in peace.
A wise choice. I have spilled too much blood already, and though I hunger for more, spilling yours would not please me. Go now. Do not return.
Good move, kid. Some things are better left alone. Let's get back to the shrine. I'll smooth things over with the big guy. I'm sure he'll understand.
With Barbas promising to smooth things over, we return to Vile's shrine and our quest updates. I have chosen to leave Umbra in peace. I should return to the shrine of Clavicus Vile and make my decision known to the Daedra Lord. Arriving at the altar, Clavicus threatens.
You will break our bargain? You dare trifle with me? Take care, mortal. Clavicus Vile watches you now and waits.
Our quest log then updates. Clavicus Vile was not pleased that I had elected not to return to him the Umbra sword. Although we're not penalised for our defiance, there is no reward for siding with Barbas either, as the loyal hound reappears by his master's side and bids us farewell.
Oh well, been good knowing you, kid. Back to being his hound for me. As for you, good luck, I guess. I've met worse.
Umbra will feast on your soul. I assume you've made your choice. Umbra hungers. What shall it be?
If we instead chose to fight Umbra, saying, keep your peace, let's fight, she responds,
Come then, try your luck. Feel the bite of Umbra.
outside of being a deadly swordsman, disarming us easily, Umbra boasts her own Umbra's Restore ability, which effectively allows her to heal 2 points of health per second. And as you'll see in our encounter, she poses an intense challenge with her aggressive skill set, especially as we are without a sword and rely on the ruins and our skill in archery to contend with a relentless and formidable foe.
Ha! You'll never take me down! The best you can do? that!
As Umbra falls thanks to the alien trap she had set, we then see we have captured a soul. Or perhaps our soul was captured, as we have become the sword's new master. We can then collect a full suit of Umbra's ebony armor. Below level 15, however, the health and armor rating are actually identical to Orcish armor. We then scoop up the Black Blade, and Barbas warns as our quest updates.
I'm telling you, don't bring that sword back to Clavicus. It'll ruin him, I'm sure. I mean, not completely. He's still a Daedra prince and all that. Look, keep the sword if you want. That's your decision. But don't give it back to Clavicus. He doesn't know what's good for him sometimes.
Returning to Vile's shrine in the wilderness, his priest, Maraska, bids us.
Clavicus Vile has offered you a bargain. Serve him well.
And as we approach the altar, sword in hand, Vile appraises.
You've brought the sword! Now give it to me. As we agreed, Umbra and I have unfinished business.
Dutifully returning the sword to Clavicus Vile, he celebrates.
Excellent! A pitiful sword with a pitiful soul in exchange for a mask fit for a god. You've gotten the better of this bargain, mortal. Now, I have business to attend to. Run along. Perhaps I'll be looking for you again.
Our quest then updates. Clavicus Vile appreciated my efforts. He's taken the Umbra sword and rewarded me with the Mask of Clavicus Vile.
Oh well, been good knowing you, kid. Back to being his hound for me. As for you, good luck, I guess. I've met worse.
The disadvantages to this approach are losing the deadly Umbra blade. However, in our pack we find the Mask of Clavicus Vile instead, a heavy helmet imparting fortified personality by 20 points. It should also be noted, if you wish to achieve 100% completion, you must return the sword Umbra to Clavicus. This is the only way to obtain the Mask of Clavicus Vile, which is one of the 15 items that counts towards the Artifacts Found statistic.
You have pleased the Lord Clavicus. A wise decision. Great fortunes to you.
Our third option is to keep Umbra's sword as our own, and we'll look closer at the blade and its statistics. But first, it should also be noted, it is possible to complete this quest without killing Umbra by disintegrating the sword off her and then pickpocketing it. And we can technically keep the sword forever and never return to Clavicus Vile. The boon being, the blade has the highest base damage of any sword in the game, and now remains 0 weight to boot. However, the quest will remain forever active in our journal. The disadvantage being, you'll never be able to complete Hermaeus Mora's final quest. Returning to Vile's shrine and not giving up said sword would also have him say,
You would dare? We had a bargain, little hero. You would risk my wrath for a pitiful little sword? I will be watching you, mortal, and waiting.
Furthermore, the disadvantages to this approach are, Clavicus Vile's followers they don't appreciate you breaking your bargain.
You have reneged on your bargain with Lord Clavicus. You are not welcome here.
And you do not have a Daedric artifact to use for the Blood of the Daedra quest, though 14 other artifacts can be used instead. Umbra then ceases to be a quest item, and in particular now weighs 45 pounds and above in weight instead of 0, and Clavicus will become outraged with you, but although he threatens us, there are no visible repercussions in-game. Now, a few fun facts about the sword found on the unofficial wiki being, in Morrowind, Umbra was a two-handed claymore, but in Oblivion it is a one-handed longsword. Umbra is Latin for shadow, or ghost, which is obviously fitting. Umbra closely resembles an ebony longsword from Morrowind. Umbra has the highest base damage of any one-handed weapon in the game. Unlike most other swords, Umbra does not have a sheath, and the sword's model is named FGD05_Umbra Sword, implying that at some point in development, it might have been intended to be used during the quest Azani Blackheart. Now, The final tricky maneuvers to this quest can interestingly create a shortcut to the main quest's prerequisites, or a glitch if you will, as you're actually able to complete the quest well before level 20 and avoid paying the 500 gold offering. How? Well, if you approach the shrine at any time with Umbra already in your possession, as you can literally exit the sewers and make a beeline for Umbra, killing her, then triggering the entire end of quest dialogue, and the quest will be marked as done at level 1. Just be sure to talk to Maraska first to make sure the quest updates properly. This is the only way to obtain a Daedric artifact for the Blood of the Daedra quest at level 1, and therefore allows you to complete the main quest at level 1 if you so choose.
Excellent! A pitiful sword with a pitiful soul in exchange for a mask fit for a god. You've gotten the better of this bargain, mortal. Now, I have business to attend to. Run along. Perhaps I'll be looking for you again.